If you have a MetaQuest headset and you want to play PCVR, but you have no idea how it works, or maybe you're looking for some tips and tricks, this video is for you. This is a 2025 complete guide on how to connect your Meta headset to your gaming PC or laptop so you can enjoy PCVR. Please remember to check out the chapters of this video below. We will be covering absolutely everything, so make sure you scrub to whatever part of the video you need. If you have any questions about anything you saw in this video, please join my community Discord. I'm happy to help. Let's go. Some of you may or may not know how PCVR works. What is the difference between PCVR and Standalone? Let's talk about it. Standalone refers to when you're playing games directly off of the device. It is not connected to a computer in any way. When it comes to the MetaQuest headsets, they have their own processor, graphics card, hard drive installed inside of the headset. So you're able to access a store page where you can buy and download video games, and you'll be playing them directly on the headset itself. Pay close attention to the quality of the graphics. This was recorded directly from the Quest 3 at max settings.
Oh, no way, I got him. Ah! I got him.
Then we have PCVR, and what that really means is that you have a VR headset that you are connecting to your gaming PC. There are a couple of methods that we'll talk about later. You're either wirelessly streaming your content from your PC to your headset, or you are physically streaming it from your gaming PC to your headset with a cable. This means that your gaming PC is doing all of the work. It is rendering the video game, and it is sending that signal through the cable or Wi-Fi to your headset. Please note that Standalone and PCVR are totally separate. For example, if you own a game on Standalone, meaning you own a game in the Meta store, you cannot play that version on your PC. If you wanted to play PCVR of that game, you would have to own the PC version, most likely the Steam version. A lot of people ask, well, what's the difference between PCVR and Standalone? Standalone headsets have come a long way, and in this year, 2025, currently the Quest 3 is kind of king when it comes to the Standalone market. It has the wonderful pancake lenses for great clarity. It's got a beefier processor than its previous versions, the Quest 2. And so it does a good job on playing games. However, as you'll notice, if you ever jump between PCVR and Standalone, the difference in graphics and performance is still jaw-dropping. So when you play a PCVR title, the real difference is going to be the graphics are even better, the frame rate is even better, the overall clarity and performance is just almost non-comparable. You also open up the library to so many other games, since Steam is a huge platform that has so much more to offer than just the Meta Store. As a matter of fact, many developers have to dumb down their games if they want them to be able to run on a standalone device. That's why you will see a clear difference between the visual fidelity on a standalone game compared to PCVR. Let's talk about the requirements to play PCVR. We'll start specifically with hardware. Obviously, if you want to play PCVR, you need a PC. So that can be a desktop PC or a laptop. But it can't just be any PC or laptop. They will need to be beefy enough to run VR. What does that mean? Well, I like to use the minimum requirements for Half-Life Alyx as a guide for minimum specs required to play. Otherwise, as a rule of thumb, I say that as long as you have a 10th gen Intel processor and above, or an NVIDIA 2000 series and above with at least 16 gigabytes of RAM and an SSD hard drive, you should be fine. Now, of course, if you want better performance, then I would recommend upgrading specific components. Most importantly, the CPU and the graphics card. And for those of you who are just looking for like a dollar amount to go off of, I would say a desktop gaming PC that's $1,500 and above. And if you're a laptop lover, a gaming laptop at $2,000 and above should give you great performance on VR. All right, enough yapping. So, as I said earlier, there's two ways to play PCVR, wired and wireless. My preferred way to play is wired, so we're going to start with that. You will need your Quest headset and, of course, a link cable. You may think, will any USB-C cable do? The answer is no. I highly recommend that you use the link cable I use because, one, I know it works, and two, because it also has an added feature of keeping your Quest charged at all times so you never run out of battery. You will also need a wall charger that is at least 45 watts and above. I use this specific Anker USB-C wall charger. And finally, you will need a high-speed USB-C cable, and this is also one from Anker that I use. Of course, links for all of these items will be in the description below. The final requirement for using a link cable, whether you have a desktop PC or a laptop, your computer must have a USB 3.0 port and above. You can usually tell the speed of the port by its color. A blue USB port is 3.1 Gen 1, and a red USB port is Gen 2. So if you have a blue or a red port, use either of those. With all that said, let's get into the official setup. Here we go. The first thing we need to do is download the Meta software. Of course, we're going to Google and we're going to search for download Meta software. Let's choose this first option for set up your Meta Quest. And then there should be a link somewhere on the Meta website that says download Meta Quest link app. Once that's finished downloading, of course, we're going to open the installer. We're going to hit get started, agree to the terms, and install into the default install location. We'll come back when this is done. Okay, we'll follow the prompts here. We'll hit next. It will take us to the home screen. Next, we will want to go to devices, and we're going to want to add a headset. This is where you're going to choose the Quest headset that you own. I have a Quest 3. Hit continue. It'll ask what setup you're trying to do, wireless or wired. We are doing wired first. So let's choose link cable and hit continue. And this is where we're going to need to plug in our headset. So we have a couple of things I want to set up with our link cable first. Let's check that out. Please follow these steps in this exact order. First, plug the USB-A side of the cable into your computer. If you're using a desktop PC, do not plug it into the front of your computer. Plug it into the motherboard. Second, plug the USB-C end into the Meta headset. Finally, the most important step, plug your charging brick into an outlet and connect a USB-C charging cable into the charging brick, and the other end must plug into the little square box at the end of this link cable. You can see it on the video now. Make sure these cables are plugged in firmly and confirm that there's a green light showing. That will tell you that you've done it correctly. Now your headset will stay fully charged while you game. Going back to the Meta software, you'll continue with the setup steps. It'll ask you to put your headset on and it'll finish installing all the drivers, and then you'll be greeted with this screen. So we have properly installed the Meta software. You'll see in the next steps that if you want to play PCVR, the first thing that you have to have open is the Meta software before you connect your headset. Next up, we have to install SteamVR, and then we will be able to get you going. We're going to minimize this, and we're going to navigate to Steam. We're going to go to the store page, and we're going to search for SteamVR, and you'll see that it is a free piece of software. So make sure that you install SteamVR on your Steam client, and once that's done, we're going to move on to actually getting things up and running. We're going to do a couple of extra credit items here, and I promise they're important for the end of the video when I give some bonus tips. We need to put a couple shortcuts on our desktop. Let's navigate to our file explorer, and we're going to go to where Meta is installed. So it should be your local disk, program files, scroll down to Oculus. We're going into support, diagnostics, and there are two applications here that we want. Let's start with Oculus Mirror. Right-click Oculus Mirror, show more options, send to desktop. And the last one is the Oculus Debug tool. Right-click, show more options, send to desktop. Perfect. We have these two new applications on our desktop for when we need them later. Now, let's get you into PCVR gaming. With all those steps done, here's how you connect your Meta headset to play PCVR on your computer. Let's start from the beginning. First thing you should do is make sure you're logged into Steam. Then the next thing you should do is open the Meta Quest Link software. At this point, let's turn on your headset and walk through what you need to do to connect it to your computer. Make sure your headset's turned on and place it on your head. Every time you want to play PCVR, you must reset your Guardian. That is super important. Please don't forget to do it. So we're going to do that now. Open up your quick settings menu and go to your Guardian settings and make sure that your floor level is reset. And then we'll move on to the next thing. When you've reset your Guardian, it is time to plug the link cable into your headset. Then put your headset back on. If you have followed every step, then the next thing you'll want to click on is this link button, and it should show a PC in the button itself. Keep in mind, you will not see this option if you do not have the Meta software open on your computer. When you're ready, click on Launch. This should take you to what's known as the white room. If you see the white room, that means you successfully connected to your gaming PC. So this next part may sound a little bit weird, but stay with me here. Keep the headset on your head. What I like to do is look through the bridge of my nose so that way I can see my monitor screen. I use my mouse and I right-click Steam and I launch SteamVR. If you wait a few moments, then the white room should fade away and you will launch into SteamVR. At first, it'll take you to a starry night sky. If it stays at the starry night sky and you never get to the house, then SteamVR might be bugged and you're going to have to manually close SteamVR and reopen it. However, it may just work the first time. You'll know because it's going to take you to the SteamVR home. You'll be inside a cozy little room, and in front of you will be a screen that shows all of the SteamVR enabled games that you have installed. So at this point, you are ready to just click on a game and launch it. For this example, I'm launching into After the Fall. By the way, this is an incredible zombie shooter. If you like Left 4 Dead, this is Left 4 Dead in VR. Pretty freaking sweet. When you're ready to quit the game, you can use the left Meta button on your controller to open up the SteamVR menu. And this menu has a lot of options for you to go through. I'm not going to go through all of them here in this video. That's going to be for you to explore. But as you can see on screen, you've got options to see your Steam friends list, which, yes, you can actually message people in VR here. You also have access to your library of games, and you can then take a look at all of the options for the video and audio settings for your device. So obviously, if you're ready to quit the game, you can click on the game at the bottom of the bar and hit Exit Game. Then when you're back in the SteamVR home, if you're ready to exit SteamVR, look in the bottom left-hand corner for that waffle icon, click on that icon, and click Exit VR. This will take you back to the white room, and when you're in the white room, this means you're still connected to your gaming PC. And if you want to disconnect, you go to the very last button in the bottom left and click Disable Link. It's time to walk you through how to connect your Quest headset wirelessly to your gaming PC. Keep in mind, there are many methods to doing this. However, I'm only showing you one method in this video. The app we will be using is called Virtual Desktop. You do have to pay for this app. It's about $20 to $25, but in my experience, it is the smoothest experience for wireless streaming. And it comes with a lot of bells and whistles that allow you to tweak it depending on your wireless network. First step is, of course, purchasing Virtual Desktop on the Meta Store. You can do this on the website, or you can purchase it in your headset itself. Once you have purchased the app, make sure that you download it and install it on your Quest headset. Let's go back to our gaming PC, and let's open up Google Chrome and type Download Virtual Desktop. Click the link that shows their Once the download's finished, let's run the installer, and of course, click through the prompts to install the application. This application is the streamer mode. All this does is it installs a listening device on your gaming PC. That way it can make the wireless connection to your Meta headset. Once it's finished installing, let's launch the software. You may get a warning from Virtual Desktop, but that's because these issues could potentially cause problems for the wireless connectivity. So I would recommend looking into what it's saying. For example, mine recommended that I change some settings in my private network profile. And I also have a video game on my computer that uses Punkbuster, and it says that Punkbuster might cause connectivity issues. It's not that big of a deal. We should be fine. But once you figure it out, go ahead and hit close. And for this last part, you'll want to make sure that you know your Meta username. You can find it out by viewing your Meta profile. I did it on the website. You can probably do it on your app on your cell phone. But once you know your username, you will type that into the first Meta username slot. For the best performance and connection results, please make sure that your gaming PC is hardwired to your router. That means having an Ethernet cable plugged into your PC. It is not required, but it's recommended. It is fine if you only have Wi-Fi for your gaming PC. Just know that it won't be the best performance. All right, let's do this thing. Put your headset back on, open your app library, and open the Virtual Desktop app. If you've done everything correctly, when it first launches, it will automatically connect to your gaming PC. However, there will be some Meta prompts asking if it can use your microphone and stuff like that. Please make sure you hit allow on these options. I'm only going to give a brief rundown of how to navigate the menu. Use the left Meta button to open up the Virtual Desktop menu. This side menu holds all of the options for you. As you can see, you can change the 3D environment you're in. You could be in movie theater or in space, whatever you'd like. You can also view your games that are installed here. We're going to come back to that later. There's input settings to change the way your controllers work inside the environment, but the most important options are going to be the settings and the streaming settings. Now, I'm not an expert. Please go take a look at other people's videos on explaining all of this information, but these settings will directly affect the quality of your wireless streaming. You can increase graphics and refresh rate, and there's a lot of other options here that I'm not really sure what they do, but you can tweak these if you'd like, or just start with the default settings. So going back to games, the most important thing you should know is that if you want to launch a game, you must use this launcher. You must go up to the game section and choose the game you want to launch. I'm going to choose After the Fall, and we'll see what happens.
I'm on my way to pick up someone else near your location. Meet us outside if you can. There's an arcade machine to supply you with a sidearm once you insert its boot disc.
Look at you playing your PCVR games completely wirelessly. Nice job. If you still want to access the Virtual Desktop menu, you can use a quick double tap on the left Meta button. This allows you to change settings on the fly however you wish. Notice, though, that you can also still access the Steam menu because you are using SteamVR on your gaming PC. It's kind of like Inception. You're in VR kind of thing. Anyways, this means that you can exit your games just like PCVR link cable. You can use the left Meta button once to open up the SteamVR menu, and you can exit game. And that's it. You figured out how to play your PCVR games wirelessly. Let's move on to the end of the video where I've got some bonus tips for those content creators out there. And I've got something for those who want to push the graphics even further using a link cable. This tip is for content creators who want to get that buttery, smooth gameplay footage, whether you're trying to record for YouTube or live stream. The Oculus Mirror is the app that we added to the desktop earlier in the video. This is what we're going to use to get that buttery footage. So first thing you'll do is you need to launch your PCVR games normally. Once your PCVR game is launched, you are going to have to take your headset off so you can see your computer screen, and then you're going to launch Oculus Mirror. Once you launch Oculus Mirror, you're going to be able to see exactly what you're seeing in the headset. Now, you might be thinking, what is the difference between this and when your computer shows the SteamVR view of the game? There's a big difference here because you actually have control over what you see. So, the window always shows up as a smaller window. We're going to make it full screen in a little bit, but I want to show you how to navigate in here first. If you left click anywhere inside the window, you will notice there's a menu bar that pops up. You want to click on Settings and drop down to Image Stabilization. You'd want to mess around with the parameters. I like to use a wide profile. It's almost like a fisheye effect, so you can see a little bit more to the left and to the right. Then you'll need to go back up to Settings, click on Image Stabilization again, and click Enable. This will crop in the view just a little bit, and it gives you that buttery smooth movement with the head. Last thing you want to do is click on Settings and Full Screen. This will give you a bigger image. Like I said, left click once to remove the menu. Left click again to bring the menu back up. Left click again to remove that little menu. So I want to show you a difference between image stabilization and no image stabilization. I'm going to move my head back and forth with image stabilization on, and then I will compare with image stabilization off. There are also other settings here where you can choose what eye you want to see through. So you can choose both eyes, left eye or right eye. I would keep it on your dominant eye that looks down iron sights and things like that, so that way your viewers can actually see what you're doing. As I said earlier though, the most important part is just having that smooth, crispy footage that people can actually stand. When it comes to watching VR footage, it's really hard to watch if there's no image stabilization. We made it to the final tip of the video, and this is using the Debug tool to push the graphics of the PCVR experience. If you're using a link cable, this is going to show the biggest difference. Just go ahead and open up that Debug tool, and I already have all of the settings here that you need. So you can pause the video and copy these settings directly. I took these settings off of somebody else on YouTube. Unfortunately don't remember their name, but I'm sharing the love and showing you guys on these settings that will really increase the fidelity inside your headset. And honestly, that's it. Once you enter in this information, your headset will take this information in with you for every game that you launch. Again, I'm pretty sure this works only with the link cable, not wireless streaming.